The Lives of the Saints by Father Alban Butler, June 1st, Blessed John Pelingotto. John Pelingotto was the son of a prosperous merchant of Urbino, but he himself, from his childhood, showed no interest in the goods of this world. At a very early age he became a Franciscan Tertiary and would have retired to live in solitude as a hermit, but for the determined opposition of his parents. In consideration of their wishes, he remained with them at home, but entirely devoted to prayer and penance. For some time he remained shut up in his room, never leaving it except to attend church. Then, obeying a heavenly call to serve God by ministering to suffering men, he came out of his seclusion. Throughout the rest of his life, he went to the hospitals to care for and comfort the sick, and sought out the most abandoned poor, whom he helped with everything possible, even giving them his own food and the clothes on his back. Notwithstanding the great misery he put the members of his family through, he often went out into the streets wearing nothing but a sort of tattered tunic, made from the jute of bags and patches of cloth. As he considered himself the vilest of creatures, he resorted to the most extravagant means to incite the contempt of his fellow men. On one Passion Sunday, he presented himself in church as a criminal, with a rope tied around his neck. Yet all saw how, while in prayer in the chapel of the Virgin, he fell into an ecstasy which lasted several hours, and from which he was awakened with great difficulty. On another occasion, he chose the coldest day of the harsh winter to spend it in the market square, among the beggars covered in rags like himself, until his relatives found him terrified and more dead than alive and took him to the house. Despite all his efforts to humble himself, John became highly revered in his hometown as a holy man, prophet, and miracle worker. 4 years before his death, he went to Rome for the Jubilee with 2 fellow tertiaries, and in the great city, several people who had never seen him before greeted him as the Saint of Urbino.